the channel. Yes, I'm a little bit late, you guys. I had some business to take care of. You know me. If I have stuff to do, this has to unfortunately take a back seat. I'm hearing that there's a lot going on, and we're going to definitely get into it. I told y'all this trial, there's going to be a lot of distractions and concerns, and I'm not surprised that it's living up to that. I'm not surprised. We said it. We said it, and we've been saying it. And with all the mistrials, requested for the mistrials, um, the jury concerns, but I'm going to get into where I need to be. So thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all. Can you guys hear me okay? I think so, because I can kind of hear myself. Okay. So let's get into the disclaimer. Let's get into what's going on. There's a lot already going on this morning. Not surprised. Okay. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. So sit back, enjoy the show, and thanks for tuning in and thanks for being here. So we're going to get into what's going on. I was busy this morning, but there's something that's going on in regards to the courtroom, of course, this morning. And what I'm hearing, everyone got in, issues outside as people are standing in line, being in line. I'm hearing that because some people may feel that Kanye, will he show up again? I'm thinking Kanye might have moved on, but people wonder if Kanye was going to show up yesterday or today, and maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know. But people are having issues in regards to the lines because they want to, if he does get into that courtroom to make eye contact with Diddy, a lot of people want to be in that courtroom to see Kanye be in that courtroom. So there's issues outside. That's one. Two, in regards to the courtroom, the judge is concerned in regards to the jury, the juror. There was one that was dismissed, juror number 6. Now there's another issue in regards to if a juror received a text message. These jurors are anonymous. So he did come forth, tell the court that he had received a message. Not certain who the message came from, not certain what the message said, but a juror received a message. So he let the courts know. Now, it's alleged, I'm not certain if it's the juror that was dismissed or if it's the new juror. We're going to clear that up, I'm sure, sometime this morning, but there is a concern. So then there was another issue this morning in regards to the judge got information that some of the documents that are presented in court was allegedly leaked. So the judge is not happy allegedly with Diddy's side, alleged. And they're wondering how this information got leaked. He can allegedly tell whether it's Diddy's side or whether it's the other side. And if there's leaks, that could persuade what's going on outside of the courtroom if information is to be anonymous and not shown to the public. So there's a lot that's going on in regards to the courtroom this morning. Now, we had talked about there was a lot going on last Wednesday. Slight delay, even more so going on in regards to Thursday. The sidebars, conversation, the judge was concerned about different things that was going on within the court because they wanted to name allegedly this rapper who had an FO. The judge was like, we're not going to present it. This case is about Mr. Combs. We have to be careful of naming different other entities in regards to this court. So there was that was going on last week. Now, if information that is supposed to be sealed and not released to the public, and that information got out alleged over the weekend, and there's a certain publication that might have released information that should not have been released, which is a huge issue. I told y'all that there's going to be distractions, there's going to be concerns, and it's interesting how Diddy's team is allegedly constantly requesting a mistrial. If you don't know, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Diddy's team has requested 3 mistrials. Diddy's team was not happy that the juror was released, and that was the 3rd mistrial that was presented to the court. Now, at some point, the judge is going to have to address all these mistrial requests. Okay, so good morning. Good morning. Yes, people really care. Be kind in the comments. I ain't got time. Busy morning, busy day. People care because there's a lot that's going on in the industry, and people are concerned about things that's being talked about. We should have known about what was happening in regards to the industry, and many people want their secrets kept. So the only way that we can get out what needs to be released is if we tell the truth about what's being talked about. And this information is definitely going to protect somebody's daughter, mother. If you're in that industry, it's going to protect you, because as we see, Diddy alleged is having situationships in regards to his girlfriends. Diddy's allegedly having concerns with employees and what the employees are doing. So you may not care. Go watch a different topic. Do you go on your page? But there's a lot of information here. And this may help people that's going into the industry to know, if you have a concern with your employer, what you need to do. And we've said this, he's innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. A judge jury is going to have to decide if there's any wrongdoing on Diddy's side, period. A judge jury is going to have to decide that. But the information that a lot of YouTubers and news is releasing, it's going to help somebody. So if you're good, you're in healthy relationships, that's good for you. But this is going to help people that are having concerns in the industry. Okay. The other thing that we're going to talk about is in regards to, they only have about they're trying to finalize everything by alleged July. That's what we're hearing. And if they're trying to finalize things by July, a lot of people are wondering, where is the people that worked with Diddy? Where is his most recent girlfriend within the last 5 years, 6 years? Where are those people? Where's the bodyguards? Where is alleged KK? Where's D-Rock? Many people are wondering what and how and why certain people are not hitting the stand. We're also wondering. There was some things we covered yesterday. If you did not catch that, go catch those videos from yesterday, because we dropped a lot of dimes in regards to certain things that we're eyeing and why certain things aren't being done. Go check out those videos yesterday. Real talk. We covered a lot yesterday. So many people are concerned about how this trial is going. What's happening in regards to this trial? Why certain people are being named and why certain people are not hitting the stand. Is other stuff forthcoming in regards to other people that may be joining in regards to this trial and racketeering alleged case? Yeah, we covered a lot yesterday. We covered a lot. I was live twice yesterday. We covered a lot. And my page is a little different. I don't do clickbait. I don't have time for that. We cover everything that needs to be covered, and we question certain things. Yesterday, they also covered different questions. Do you think Diddy's going to hit the stand? What do you think is going to transpire next? Why isn't KK, hitting the stand? So there's a lot that was definitely covered. So in regards to today, there's the judge is not happy. Some people are stating that they've never seen the judge this upset. If there's leaks that's going out in regards to documents, that's a huge, huge concern. So let's bring up some videos. Thanks for being here, everyone. Like the video as you guys come in. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before and where you're watching from. But I appreciate everyone for being here, tuning in, and we're going to get to some clips in regards to what's being talked about. Hold on one second. Like the videos you guys come in. Like the videos you guys come in. Thanks for being here. And I may have to go live later on today to cover even more, because right now a lot of people are in the courtroom reporting, and they're taking notes. Since there was a huge delay, some people that are in the courtroom, normally they don't do videos first thing in the morning or as they take a break. People did a lot of lives today because they took another break, because allegedly documents that were supposed to not go out to the public, allegedly there was an article or something that went out. um let's see, we're going to let Armand explain it, because other publications will explain it, but it's just easier for us to get to him telling it, and we'll just go from there. So let's go ahead and give him credit. But people are wondering what's happening in court. Armand's telling us, so it's just easier for us to do it this way. Okay, so give me a second, because he's going to speak with a woman and she's going to tell us. Okay. Okay, you guys like the video as you guys come in. Please subscribe to the page. Please subscribe to the page. Let's get to the clip.
Oh, okay. That's the violation, the code. 23C1, yeah. What is the rule? Do you know it?
I think it's backwards.
Okay. I'll come in a second. Let me get over here to Queen real quick. I'm going to pop you on. Oh, you cool. So, what did you make of that today?
Honey, I was shocked. I didn't know what we were walking into, because I actually thought...
Can we hold it right here while we do this? Or you want to... Okay, go ahead, Queen. Put this on real quick.
Sure.
Y'all know Queen, I'm there. This is my girl. She been having
So this is Armand and Queen.
So you can tell us what you thought. Because I done missed it.
Telling us the drama that occurred in the courthouse. So let's get to it. Other reports and publications and news media is going to tell us later. So Armand's already given it to us. Let's go.
Because you know I don't go live up here. Like,
hold on.
Okay, it's in there. Okay, so Queen is going to help us out. So what did you think about that today? Come on.
Okay, so I was shocked because, first of all, I knew they were going to address what happened with jury number 6 as far as the rest of the jury, how they responded to it, what was their reaction, and they were basically told not to say anything about it and not to even discuss it amongst themselves. But when the judge got on there looking stern, and then he called out Agnifilo, and he called out Comey, and asked them what's going on, who's telling the information, privileged information has been exposed, there's an article, this information was sealed, and nobody was supposed to say anything, and both parties said they didn't know who did it, that they checked with their teams, and their teams didn't divulge the information. He said somebody's lying.
That's what I said. But what do you think the article was?
Ooh, honey, that's what I want to know.
Because here's the thing, somebody around here is being messy, and I think both sides are planting little seeds in the media, and they're trying to tamper with the jury. Because let's be honest, we know these jurors are looking at what's going on online. You can say not to, but hey, if I can say, here's this information, get this out to the public, then perhaps that might be able to still sway a jury.
Exactly.
And I think that's what the judge basically said. Y'all are trying to sway this case one way or another, but it wasn't clear on which side he felt like was trying to sway it.
Well, we do know this. We do know that the prosecution has leaked some information. The feds. We do know that.
Do we know that?
I won't say necessarily the prosecution, but it has been reported. Let me say alleged, but they have reported.
Alleged.
The New York Post said that an agent spoke to them anonymously about what was confiscating the raids. Then they came back and said that an agent spoke to them anonymously about those freak-off tapes. And said that the agent told them they couldn't substantiate whether or not it was consensual or not. And that was before the trial even started.
So, there's a lot going on.
I think whatever was leaked likely had something to do with how and why juror number 6 was removed.
I was thinking that too.
That's what I think.
Now, do you think it was a TMZ article? But did they ask like what publication it was? And they were saying that everybody was acting like they didn't know what was going on. I'm just letting y'all know this right now. The judge is not playing. I've never seen him disturbed. For me to be out here in a pink shirt live like this in the middle of the rain, you know it's a lot going on.
It absolutely is.
Thank you, Queen.
Like the video. I'm telling y'all, there's a lot going on, and the judge is not happy this morning. The judge is not happy. Like the video. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Please subscribe, everyone. Please subscribe. I am bringing you guys some updated of what's going on in the courthouse today.
I'm going to get a bunch of here. So we're going to take it back real quick. Now, there's a lot going on. I'm telling y'all, there's a lot going on. He's not playing. He's not playing. So, there's a lot going on, y'all. I'm going to keep y'all updated. The girls are getting clocked. They're getting scolded. And they're getting in trouble. So, something like that. I need a bell. But
okay, so the judge knows that there's alleged information that's leaked, and he's not happy, and he's upset, and he said this can never happen again. There's a lot that's going on, and people are being called out because there is a lot going on. And it shouldn't be like this. And why is there so much chaos, drama, and issues? The constant mistrial requests, the constant sidebars, the constant objections. There's just a lot going on. Okay, so
other staffers, okay, what's going on here, given that you're a juror from Bronx County, or specifically from the Bronx? So what ended up happening is the judge brought this particular juror back in the robing room or judge's chambers and spoke to this juror just about what was really happening and spoke to him about a couple of times here. So it wasn't just a one and done type of situation, Jesse. It was something that had been mulling over for a couple of days. And so the judge ended up going back and looking at the record pretty closely. So he reviewed the transcript from the robing room, but also he went back even further and looked at just some of the questions and answers from the jury selection process. So the judge said that there were inconsistencies and clear inconsistencies from voir dire, which is jury selection, and the robing room conversations. And the judge.
Okay, good morning. I can see you, Paris, on this side. Thank goodness I have this tablet open because I could not see your message from where I'm watching. Thank goodness, because at first I was like, can people hear me? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks for being here, Paris. Yeah, I had a busy morning. I'm just now getting in here. Massive confusion. And we talked about that. The distractions, the constant mistrial requests. I'm not surprised because if you are able to get away with so much for so many years, why would you think that this is going to be smooth? Why would you think that things are going to go off without a hitch? He wants to get out. He asked for bail several times. He requested bail several times and got denied. The mistrials are getting denied. The request of not letting juror number 6 go, where the juror was living. Then did he really relocate? So this judge has to be frustrated at night. This has not gone smooth at all. At all. And then for people to get on the stand and they're the ones that's being treated like they're the ones that's on trial. Very interesting. I wouldn't want this for a mother, daughter, or a coworker that's working for a person that's concerned. Some of these people are fearful of going to the police, allege. Some of these people are fearful of going to the hospital. And some of these people are contacting HR and some of their stuff is being slightly addressed. Hold on one second. Okay. So there's a lot going on. I'm not surprised. We told y'all weeks and weeks ago there's going to be distractions, whether Kanye was really there to assist and support. Then other people were saying, is Kanye going to show up today? Is Kanye going to show up today? And then is his name really added to the family list? Has Kanye gone back to where he's gone to? And maybe Kanye did want to support Diddy. Maybe Kanye has, I've heard this, maybe Kanye has a project that he's coming out with and he wants some media attention. That way his name is already trending and that way people will continue to talk about him. But for the judge to be really upset this morning in regards to a publication giving out information this weekend, the judge did not name the publication, but certain people are dropping dimes of where the publication released the information this weekend. The judge did not want to mention it because he didn't want people to run over to pull that information. This is a younger judge, so he knows when he's being played. This is a younger judge. Just this judge knows what to look for, how to look for it, and we're being told that in regards to some of our lives, people are listening and watching in. That's what we're being told. And that's okay because over here, we did not want Mia to be exposed. We did not want Jane Doe to be exposed. But you have to be cautious because certain people are trying to expose. And if there's information that was released and documents that should have never gone out, this judge is saying to the attorneys, this can never happen again. And if it happens again, we are going to address you, and this could be a bigger issue than you want it to be. He had to address those attorneys because it's almost like, and you know, I use this word, playing in my face. This judge doesn't want his name to be put in a bad light that things got out of hand. He don't want people playing in his face. He don't want people playing in his face. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on with Kanye. And then I had told y'all, I'm wondering other celebrities will show up and show out just for media attention, clicks, and views because they got their own stuff going on. This judge, they said this morning, was they've never seen him like that. Because if you're allegedly leaking stuff to a major, this is not a small publication, this is a major publication, that you're leaking information that should not be leaked. And how dare you, attorneys, let this leak? These documents are so protected by these law offices. How dare you allegedly leak it to a publication and he found out? I don't know how the judge found out about it. I don't know how. And this is the other thing. People that's in the courtroom and the overflow room, the judge was not telling them a lot because he didn't want the people in the courtroom and the overflow courtroom to tell what exactly he was mad about. But he had just said that there was a publication that was leaked. He's not happy with certain attorneys. This can never happen again. And if it does, you will be addressed in a way that you're basically, in my words, you won't be happy with. And we will address you in a way that I will have to, basically, he's saying he'll have to do an investigation. He may want to, and he may get people's alleged phones. He may somehow request how this got leaked. He may contact that publication and he may request how they got it and who they got it from. Huge. I know on this side, Paris, and I know who got the publication. I'm just cautious to say who they are. They're kind of how do I say it? The publication, they like to put their hand in stuff that they shouldn't be putting their hand in. Um, and they're often called out on whose side are you on anyway. This publication has been called out. And it's interesting because this publication also, let me think, how do I say that? This publication's been called out. Oh, let me go here. Let me go here. Let me go here. This publication allegedly was called out when Cassie and Diddy had a concern. And allegedly, this publication spun it in a way that it looked as if Cassie and Diddy was just having a breakup concern. And people called them out because people that kind of knew what was going on was kind of like, well, why would you spin it that way? Maybe because alleged Diddy team alleged got to them. Because remember when Diddy got upset when he thought one of his employees leaked stuff? See what this does. Okay, let's go back, y'all. When a famous man is dating a woman and there's concerns there of grabbing in an unwanted way, what does that do? That makes other women not want to date you, right? He wanted to have his pick of the litter. So if real articles would have went out in regards to the diddler 8 to 10 years ago, some women would have been spared in knowing what was what. So allegedly, this publication saw alleged Cassie having concerns, fleeing, I'll be general, fleeing the situation. And the article back then, years ago, wasn't recent, years ago, spun it in a way that it just made it seem that they were just having a breakup conversation. But I'm hearing that Cassie may have been trying to flee, run away. It might have been even the car situation. Remember how one of the alleged bodyguards had a situation with trying to get Cassie in a car in a certain way? And I think that publication got it. And I think that publication spun it. So I'll be general there. And like I said, I listen to pages that are smart. They're bright. They don't just say stuff to say stuff. But if it is that publication, I'm wondering what the judge is going to do to shut this down. I'm sorry, Paris. Yeah. No, this is not good. This is not good. And we had talked about distractions, but I didn't think that it would be this big of distractions where the judge would be frustrated with attorneys and have to address them that what is going on now can never happen again. And he may still, we're going to hear later on, he may still do a deeper dive investigation and see what and how the leak happened. And see, this is what y'all got to realize. I'm cautious and careful what I say because people may be listening. The judge has already talked to certain publications about who is sitting with, talking with, how do I say it? The judge had already addressed something a month ago in regards to the publication having connections with certain people. I can go there. The judge had already addressed, you have connections with certain people. I know you have a podcast. Watch yourself. Be careful. He had already addressed stuff a month ago. So allegedly, if this publication was the one that leaked stuff, he had already addressed y'all. And if y'all the ones that's leaking it and he already addressed you in regards to the publication and in regards to videos, and now there's alleged leaks, baby, these attorneys need to be careful. This judge is not one to play with. He's of age where he's not older and he doesn't know how to pull up stuff, look up stuff, and research stuff. He's of age where he can pull up stuff, look up stuff. I told y'all my page is a little different. This judge is not to be played with. And allegedly, I hear that everyone is saying that the judge is trying so hard to be fair on both sides. So if he's trying so hard to be fair on both sides, and then y'all play in his face, it's out there. The video is the article's out there. If he's trying to be so fair, and y'all playing in his face, this is not good. It's just not good. Later on today, I'll probably go live again. If you guys are just now coming in, I'm going to play. I can't play a double article. Okay, I'll tell y'all what happened because I can't play a voice recording I already played like 10 minutes ago. This morning, Armand came out. Armand doesn't normally do lives early in the morning. Armand normally does his lives late in the afternoon. So Armand said, man, there's a lot of tea that's going on. The judge is not happy about the information being leaked. So there's a certain code that Armand gave. I gave it 10 minutes ago. There's a certain code that Armand gave. And in that, the code tells where the concern is. I don't want to say the code because I'll get it wrong. So Armand had walked up to other people saying, well, what do you think is going on? The judge seems so upset and frustrated that information is leaking in regards to documents. So Armand walks up to this one young lady. She was on his show before. Great commentary. So she says he's frustrated that there's leaks and he does not want it to happen again. This never should have happened. And it's almost like, did you not think I was going to find out that this leak happened? I got to play it, y'all. if this video don't get monetized because I'm trying to play this clip for y'all, I'm going to be mad. But I think it's going to help if you guys hear it. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me comment. Let me bring it down. I'm going to let y'all hear it so y'all can understand what's going on. And just go over to his channel, go subscribe to his channel and let him know that we sent y'all. So let's go here. Let's make the clip fast. So that way, and I'm playing a different part. So hopefully it goes over. Okay.
It's been a lot going on already. Y'all know I don't usually do these little lives like this, but when it's hot, it's hot. So I gotta get.
Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. So Armand's gonna explain everything and he's gonna tell you the code. So you gotta listen because it's going fast. My page goes fast, but let him explain.
In here, when it's hot, let me see if I can even have my notes show. What? Are y'all here? Oh, we going in today. Court starts. It's been one of them days today. Let me tell you something. They've been trying it with these lines. I already had to crash out 2 people. Somebody else had me up today. I've been going off. It's been a lot going on. It's raining. Everybody is on edge today. I don't know what's the energy in the courtroom today at the courthouse with this trial, but it's a lot going on. So we walk in early, okay? Let me come on. They just come out. We come out early into the courtroom. Court starts at 8. The judge just starts going in, basically saying, hey, there's an article that has been put out to the press that was released under seal. So there were some
sealed documents. Like the video. I'm gonna have to stop and play it because I'm not trying to get no issues, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the page. Let's continue.
Exhibits that only the prosecution and the defense had access to. Some way, somehow or another, that information got put out to the public. Now, we don't know what article it is, but the judge basically said somebody violated the court order and released seek info. The article flagrantly violated the court order. Court order local rule 23C1 or 21 and 23C. So they are subject to discipline if this happens again. Like, he's not playing. So they're under investigation right now. He said if it happens again, it's going to be a complete investigation where the head attorneys for both sides of the case, the prosecution and the defense, will have to be subject to releasing their phones, text documents, emails, and they would have to
releasing their phones, text documents. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
get on the stand, and there would have to be testimony. So they would get tried like a jury trial. It could be civilly or criminally. He's not playing with them, okay? They said the court imposed a gag order to everyone that was included on the defense. So, Diddy, everyone included, everyone affiliated with him. Gag order. Nobody could talk about sealed documents. No one. Not the prosecution, not the defense, and none of their affiliates, all right? If anything happens again, lead counsel is going to be held accountable. So the lead counsel will be held accountable if something happens again. The judge said everybody is on notice. Okay? If this happens again, people will be put on trial, subject to trial, witness testimony, and could be tried criminally and or civilly. Okay? So it's a lot going on. And so when he asked him, he asked Comey, he said, hey, Comey, do you know what's going on with this article, how this information got out? She said, no. That's the prosecution lead attorney. Then
they asked Comey. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Subscribe, everybody. There's about 335 in the building. I'm bringing y'all some hot tea. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
He asked Agnifilo, which was the defense lead attorney, do you know how any of this information got out and where this article came from? He said no. And he said, well, clearly somebody in here is lying. Somebody's lying because it was only you guys in here and the respectful parties. Everything was closed. Members of the public weren't in here. The press wasn't in here. So somebody sent this information out and then got into the press. So I don't know who's lying. It's a lot of craziness going on. People are wanting their narrative spun. I don't know. It's a lot of the media's in here. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. A lot of people, I don't know what article this is, and I'm not talking about a specific content creator. I'm not talking about a specific media company. I don't know who it is. I'm not even alluding to anybody. But these different sides, whether you're the defense or the prosecution, they are trying to side with the media and they are trying to put their story out. No one is exempt, and I don't know who it is. I feel like the prosecution is playing games with certain people. I feel like the defense is playing games with certain people. You don't know who's in bed with who and who's talking. We don't even know what the article is yet that got put out, but it's getting messy.
But the judge knows. Don't forget to subscribe and continue to hit the like button. Let's continue. But the judge knows and he's aware. Let's continue.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody's in bed and leaking stuff, and the judge is putting everyone on notice today and investigating everybody in the case. Not us, not the public, not members of the media. These are people of counsel. They're getting investigated. So it's a lot going on. How did the judge find out? I don't know. I don't know how the judge found out. We don't even know what article it is. The judge won't even tell us what article it is because they don't want us, I guess, to blow the article up even more. But apparently something happened on Friday. I don't know if it was when they went into the back room. We had that extended break, but it was some information that was under seal that got released to the public. And then they asked both parties, did you guys know what outlet or who was the one that published this article or like how this got out? Everybody was acting oblivious. Everybody was acting like they didn't know anything. They don't know how it got out. They don't know how the information got there. So it's a lot going on. Let me go and ask a few people.
Okay, the person he about to ask, I'm going to skip over that. I'm going to go to the lady he about to ask. Fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys coming in. Hold on. Like the video as you guys come in. This is major. There's other stuff that's going on, but I told y'all there's so many distractions. This judge, I would imagine he's frustrated. Hold on one second. Okay. I like who he's talking to now, and we're going to get to that. Fair use reaction clip. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. We have hit 38K. Thank you for subscribing. Let's get to it.
How they responded to it, what was their reaction, and they were basically told not to say anything about it and not to even discuss it amongst themselves. But when the judge got on there looking stern, and then he called out Agnifilo, and he called out Comey, and asked them what's going on, who's telling the information, privileged information has been exposed, there's an article, this information was sealed, and nobody was supposed to say anything, and both parties said they didn't know who did it, that they checked with their teams, and their teams didn't divulge the information. He said somebody's lying.
That's what I said. But what do you think the article was?
Ooh, honey, that's what I want to know.
Because here's the thing, somebody around here is being messy, and I think both sides are planting little seeds in the media, and they're trying to tamper with the jury. Because let's be honest, we know these jurors are looking at what's going on a lot. You can say not to, but hey, if I can say here.
The jurors are not supposed to be looking up stuff, though. And remember, there's a concern with the juror getting a message. So there's a lot going on. Let's continue.
Here's this information. Get this out to the public. Get this out to the public. Then perhaps that might be able to still sway a jury.
Exactly.
And I think that's what the judge is basically saying. Y'all are trying to sway this case one way or another, but it wasn't clear on which side he felt like he was trying to sway it.
Well, we do know this.
Okay. So there's that. So everything I was just talking about, I just updated you. Go over to his page and listen to the rest.
Other staffers are given that you're a juror from Bronx County.
Hold on.
Typically from the Bronx. So
Hold
what
on.
ended up happening is the judge brought this particular juror.
Yes, go over later. Go over to the page and listen to the rest. Because there's more, but my page, I ain't trying to leak nothing. Hold on one second. Fair use reaction clip. Was it this one? Like the video, like the video. Yeah, this is 5 hours ago. Fair use reaction clip. Don't forget to subscribe. I try and bring y'all TTT. Even if I'm supposed to be in appointments, I got headphones on in my ear and I'm trying to bring out the tea so I know what I'm talking about. And sometimes at night, I be like, okay, yep, I already covered that. Yep, I covered that. We doing good over here. Okay, we covered that. I can exit from you. Okay, so let's get here. Hold on. This is 5 hours ago from ABC.
Trial of the moment Sean Diddy Combs viewing real life. Combs denies all charges. And just a warning, the story contains accounts, descriptions, and visual content of actual or alleged events that some may find just.
Now, if you guys did not know, yesterday they allegedly showed text messages they talked about, and they allegedly showed videos, allegedly. And certain people that I listened to, certain people in the courtroom couldn't hear what was going on in those videos. The jury had headphones, and I don't know if the attorneys had headphones, but not everyone could hear the videos that was going on yesterday. So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Thank you. Congratulations. Let's talk about it. Yeah, we hit 38K yesterday, girl. Yes, we did. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate y'all. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Disturbing. Here's Nightline co-anchor Byron Pitts.
Behind these doors, a jury seeing for the first time, world's been talking about for months, videos of those notorious so-called freak-offs involving Sean Diddy Combs.
So they're about to talk about the videos, y'all. Listen in.
To the videos that depicted Cassie Ventura with male escorts. And these videos, explicit though they are at the heart of the prosecutor's case to help convince the jury that Cassie Ventura was trafficked for sex.
In a key moment of this trial, wearing headphones, jurors were shown excerpt videos of freak-offs played in the courtroom for the first time today. The videos coming from a laptop belonging to Cassie Ventura.
When it came time to play these video excerpts of freak-offs, jurors put on headphones, so did the lawyers and Sean Combs. The public screens were shut off because the gallery was not allowed to see or hear these explicit videos. But as the excerpts played, we could faintly hear the sound of music and moaning noises.
The jury also shown text messages between Combs and Ventura, in which prosecutors say he texted her, "Want to celebrate Christmas and have a freak-off tonight or Friday?"
So this dude is calling Cassie wanting to do FOs around Christmas time. And are you feeling it? So you didn't spend time with your family. Now you ready to leave your family to do a FO. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
For the text messages, they said, were summoning escorts to a hotel. Also at the center of today's court proceedings, text messages, emails, and documents shown in court.
The videos came with hotel receipts, credit card statements, travel records that helped give the jury a full picture of how Sean Combs allegedly got her and male escorts to different hotel rooms for the purposes of these sexual encounters.
Sean Combs stands accused of sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution. All charges he denies. But as the government wraps up his case over the next couple...
So I'm hearing, because there's slight music, I have to stop and play it. I'm hearing that there was an alleged juror that was kind of shaking their head, kind of either of shock or disgust. I don't remember what it was, but certain jurors, what was being replayed. And I can't remember if it was for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or 29 minutes. But there was videos that was watched longer than 15 minutes. And I think there was a lot of shock and awe. I'm trying to remember what they said about Diddy's demeanor. But you know what? I take that back. One person said that the jurors showed nothing. Another person said, another person said yesterday there was a juror that was in shock and awe. In regards to the videos, the jury tried to show nothing because they knew people were going to report on it. So I take that back. When they were showing the videos, the jurors tried everything not to show any facial expressions during those videos. But during the court hearing, there was a juror that was kind of in shock and awe of what they were hearing yesterday. So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Days. A major moment in court this morning. Judge Aaron Zabramian dismissing a juror number 6, for lack of candor. The juror originally saying he lived in the Bronx with his fiancee, but he apparently told a court staff member that he had recently moved in with his girlfriend in New Jersey.
The worry about a juror who gives incomplete or not really forthright answers is that they could be what's called a stealth juror. Someone who is answering questions in a way that is untruthful, but to get onto a jury, to be able to give a verdict that they want.
So he was trying to remain on that jury, everybody. He was trying to remain on the jury, but they released juror number 6. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Guilty or not guilty, and that's something that no one wants in the jury.
The judge saying the record raised serious concerns as to the juror's candor and whether he shaded answers to get on and stay on the jury. Going on to say, there's nothing the juror could say at this point that would put the genie back in the bottle.
It is far better to remove a juror that has issues as to candor or jurisdictional defects now than if a verdict is rendered. Because if a verdict was rendered, that could be a bigger issue of appeal. But a person gave an incomplete or wrong answer to get on the jury and then rendered either a guilty or not guilty verdict.
The defense raising concerns about the dismissal, noting that he was one of 2 black men on the jury.
The defense lamented that removing juror number 6, a 41-year-old black man, would make the jury less diverse. The judge said that was not a concern with this particular juror. He said he was sympathetic to the defense concerns generally, but he noted the makeup of this jury already includes a number of people of color.
This week marks what's expected to be the final week of testimony in the government's case before Combs' attorneys take over to present his defense. The prosecution making their final push with exhibits they hope will help prove the charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs orchestrated a criminal enterprise, the assistance of his bodyguards to pressure witnesses, like Combs' former assistant testifying as Mia, to, quote, stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew.
The jury saw some additional messages from one of Sean Combs' longtime bodyguards. He goes by D-Rock. She said the outreach from D-Rock and from Combs himself made her terrified. Federal prosecutors no doubt want to leave the jury with the impression that Combs was behind the scenes pulling the strings as part of his alleged orchestration of a criminal enterprise.
The jury was also presented with text.
Like the video, like the video. Can you guys still hear me okay? Can you guys still hear me okay? And continue to hit the like button. I don't see any comments. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. You guys could just be listening and nobody's commenting. Like the video. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Audio messages meant to reinforce testimony from other witnesses about hotel rooms, drugs, and travel. One group of messages between Combs' chief of staff, Christina Courtroom, and Combs' travel arranger discussing a flight for Jane and an escort named Paul. In one 2018 exchange, Ventura allegedly told Courtroom, quote, I can't do that violent, scary, kick me out of my own house stuff anymore. To which Courtroom responded, I'm sure. Stay focused, though. It's not worth derailing. That much I know.
The government will present this as we are getting information that Christina Courtroom knows about the violence towards Cassie from Sean Combs, and that she is saying, stay focused, don't get derailed. That could be a part of the coercion or the force in that RICO or sex trafficking charge. But the defense will make their own arguments and say that Christina Courtroom is not part of a criminal enterprise, but merely a confidant and friend of Cassie Ventura.
Prosecutors say the messages were pulled from electronic devices owned by Courtroom, who was not testifying at trial. Courtroom's attorney did not respond to requests for comment from ABC News. In a previous statement, regarding 3 other civil lawsuits she had been named in surrounding Combs, Courtroom said in part, for months, horrific accusations have been made about me in various lawsuits regarding my former boss. The idea that I could be accused of playing a role in, or even be a bystander to, the rape of anyone is beyond upsetting. That is not who I am, and my heart goes...
People were wondering, where is KK? Okay, let me see something. Hold on. Everybody's wondering, where's D-Rock? Where's KK? Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, yeah, y'all can hear me. Okay. I was just making sure. I'm surprised there's not a lot of comments. Fair use reaction clip. Let me get back to it. I was just making sure. Fair use reaction clip.
Disturbing and unthinkable. That is not who I am, and my heart goes out to all victims of sexual assault. I am confident that
This is KK, but there's music back there. Guess KK made a statement. Let's stop it and play it.
allegations against me will be proven to be untrue.
So KK is basically saying the information that's being released about her is untrue.
Is expected to rest his case as early as Wednesday, with the defense taking over by Friday, when they will make their case for what
Defense will take over by Friday.
they say Sean Combs is innocent of all the accusations levied against him these past 5 weeks.
So they're saying that what's being reported about Mr. Combs is not valid. Okay. Fair use reaction clip. Let me see. Come on in, everybody.
Shock and awe.
Like the videos you guys come in. Now, this was 2 hours ago. Hold on 1 second. Like the videos you guys come in. Like the videos you guys come in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Yes, we got a late start, but I thank everyone for being here. Okay.
Closing argument that was made, and I thought maybe we get a verdict, but if we didn't, it would be a quiet, boring day. And it wasn't quiet. It was not quiet at all. There was screaming, there was yelling, there was like a fight, but not among the jurors. It was outside, like 1,000 people outside, and some of them didn't get along. And one of the guys who didn't get along with another guy is on tonight.
Wait, she's covering a few different things. Hold on, let me get to the Diddy stuff. Okay, there we go.
Not enjoying what she was watching. Now, on the other hand,
Heard the audio messages both to and from and among other members of Diddy's alleged enterprise. And in the process, guess what? Yes, we learned another term for Diddy's sex parties. Many on the staff called them king nights. We heard them as freak-offs, hotel nights. Now, king nights, as in a night for Diddy the King to have wild sex with a few of his so-called guests.
Yeah, it's hot where we're at too, Paris. I can see our messages now. It's hot where we're at. I was at an appointment and I was like, y'all got air conditioning? What's really going on? Turn on the air or let me get out of here. Oh, let's see. Do I think that people are tired of hearing the same old? Yesterday wasn't the same old, same old. Wednesday, Thursday, there wasn't the same old, same old. There was a lot going on Wednesday, Thursday. And then remember, Kanye showed up Friday. But in regards to people and their testimony, it just, okay, let's say it this way. It rings true in regards to some of the witnesses having some of the same issues or concerns. So that helps in regards to not everybody can be wrong. You get it? Not everybody could be lying. This person is saying this person say they contacted KK. And right now, the most interesting thing is that they're showing text messages. We're hearing voice recordings. And then yesterday, they saw video. So now they're almost getting to the meat potatoes in regards to the trial. But see, there's so many distractions. There's so many distractions. So that can sway you not understanding everything that's going on. So I think not this week, not last week, I think the week before, the jurors might have been kind of sick of hearing the same old. But now they're definitely getting into messages, Diddy's voice recording, and then the jurors seeing videos. So I would say that because they're showing different things that does not make him look good, there's distractions. There's distractions. Yeah, let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Yes, I said a few, not just one, not just two, multiple guests. But some of the text messages indicated that things went off the rails and may have become violent. There was an exchange from 2017 that begins with a text from Cassie to Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, and
so Michigan probably just
hold on 1 second. So now let's let this go past. We're hearing messages from Cassie and Christina Coram.
WTF? Corum responds back by asking if she's okay, and Cassie texts, no, but you should talk to him, meaning presumably Diddy. I'm sure you don't want to get involved, Cassie says, but no one deserves being dragged by their hair, end quote. Christina Corum responds, I will try to talk with him when he's up. I could go on, and I'm actually going to go on. But first, a quick word about Diddy's jury, because the judge...
So a lot of people will complain to KK. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. This is a girlfriend talking to his business partner about the relationship. And you know what? I was thinking, if he would have been more so focused on music and not the FOs, different people's careers would have soared more. The HR concerns are concerning. The relationships are alleged. The relationships are concerning. What the employees went through concerning. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Told us on Friday that he was strongly inclined to give juror number 6 the boot. And this morning, he gave juror number 6 the boot. He said that he believed that number 6 lied about where he really lived on a regular basis, just so that he could for sure get picked to be on this jury. The defense was not happy about this. They complained that losing a black man would make that jury panel less diverse. But the judge said there's still plenty of diversity on that panel, even with the addition of the alternate, who's a white guy. As it stands now, there are 8 men and 4 women, and at least 5 people are of color. And as if that wasn't enough juror drama, a second juror was then held after court for questioning today. All I can tell you is what TMZ is reporting about this one, because the judge wouldn't tell us. TMZ says that the person...
Ooh, clock that T, Paris. Clock that T. You know what I'm saying.
This juror received a strange text message from an unknown number asking if he was juror number 6, you know, the juror 6 who got bounced. The man reported the contact, as he's supposed to the judge, and it is not clear tonight, at least it's not clear to me, whether any legal harm has been done by this or any action needs to be taken, but everything's going on as planned. I'm joined now by Lauren Conlon, host of the popular true crime podcast, The Outlier, and Pop Crime TV on YouTube. She was in the courtroom for all of this today, the drama and everything. I have to ask you first and foremost about the reaction to the jury panel, Lauren, when they were basically forced to watch pornography for many minutes upon minutes, right? And I kept wondering, the women versus the men, how did they react? So just take me there and tell me what you saw.
Yes, Ashley, this one female juror who is pretty known to show reactions in the courtroom, she was horrified. She was looking away. I think she was kind of covering her eyes. It was very clear she was not enjoying what she was watching. Now, on the other hand, the men, I gotta say, they did not move, Ashley. Their eyes were locked on the screen, and they were pretty much like... So yeah, there was quite a difference. And I'll also tell you that in the gallery, it was during video 2, we could hear moaning. We weren't quite sure. And then all of a sudden, the reporter next to me, we're kind of elbowing each other. We're kind of all looking around, sharing glances. And we're like, yep, oh my goodness, that's moaning. And I noticed that some of the jurors kind of had their headsets on halfway on their ears, covering them. So maybe the sound was kind of escaping that way, but we definitely heard part of video number 2.
Wow.
Ew. Well, okay, so, all right, that happened. Yeah. I kind of expected, Lauren, that was going to be the reaction, that the men would be like, yeah, well, so, okay, I've seen this kind of thing before, maybe, but the women would be floored, you know, that they were actually forced to do this as part of their public service. Talk to me about how things went after they've spent like 6 weeks now with juror number 6, and suddenly he's gone. Were they even told, where's the guy that we've been sitting with, and why is there a new guy? Like, what were the dynamics?
So there's a new guy. So can juror number 6 speak with the media? I'm still waiting to hear that. If juror number 6 can start doing interviews, or does he have to wait for the trial to be done? I'm not certain. I'm waiting for anybody, any lawyer, any credible publication, tell us if juror number 6 can start speaking. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Please don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe. The new goal is 39K, but by the end of the year, millions, because we've had millions of views for the page. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Looks like when suddenly there's a new person on the panel this far into the case.
Well, it's really interesting because at the end of the day today, Alexandra Shapiro, Diddy's appellate lawyer, I believe, on the defense, she asked the judge, how were the other jurors told about juror 6 leaving, or what were they told? What went on behind closed doors? And the judge actually said, let me find out and I'll get back to you tomorrow. And look, Diddy's team was not happy about losing this juror. That is clear. Late Sunday night, June 15th, they submitted a motion saying, if this juror is in fact dismissed, we will most likely move for a 3rd mistrial. And I saw Diddy's face as the jury was coming in this morning and juror number 6 was missing or dismissed, not there. He looked down and kind of just shook his head, very disappointed. And the new juror is a 57-year-old accountant, which, let's be honest, accountants are historically good for the prosecution.
Tell me about the boys. Every day in court, I've been sort of amazed and skeeved out by the fact that Diddy's sons are in court to hear all of this filthy testimony. I get it. You got to have your family to show support. But as a father, I would never want my children to hear this stuff. Yet they've been there every day, except for today. They weren't there. Do you have some insight?
Well, I noticed.
Did not know that the sons weren't there. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
that early on they did miss a couple days here and there, or they would show up for a half day. So I really didn't think much of it. His sons have been incredibly supportive. I mean, as you know, court can be very tedious, but they have shown up for their father. And you know, we saw these social media posts that they put out on Father's Day, which were very loving. So I don't have any insight as to why they weren't there today, but I'm not looking too much into it.
What were the posts like? What did they say in their Father's Day posts?
Well, Christian Combs had this post of he and his dad, and he was very little. He was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I actually thought, yeah, there it is. I thought it was very heartfelt because he wrote something like, I love you and I miss you and I'll see you at home. Or yeah, we're waiting for you at home. And I always think when you take ownership and say, I love you instead of love you, it really indicates that you mean it. And then.
So this is News Nation. This is reported from 2 hours ago for News Nation, but they may not have heard stuff from yesterday. Not certain if the family was there today. You know my page, I'm a little bit different. I always try and clear up stuff. They may have shown up today. Maybe not so much yesterday when the videos was played. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
I believe it was Justin Combs. He put a video up and his was a little more fun, a little more casual, but just really showing that they support their dad and they truly believe that he is coming home.
Wow. Well, I saw some of the comments, and it was fascinating. You should go to the comments section, folks. It's entertainment in itself. Hey, Lauren Conlon, thank you so much. Come back again. That's just great insights. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
All right, I want to bring in Ashley Wilcott, Court TV anchor, former juvenile court judge in Georgia, and just a super smart person when it comes to everything in American jurisprudence. Okay, other Ashley, judge. I thought when we were getting into receipts and all the dry, boring stuff, I thought, oh, you know, they just got to get this stuff on the record. And then I started to see boxes being checked. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one. I felt like the government was winding up with a bang. Here are the receipts to sex trafficking. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, Ashley. I think that's exactly what they intended. Because remember, they put this testimony out to really connect the dots between P. Diddy and his staff, chief of staff. Here you hear about all these things like the setup of the hotel rooms, coordinating travel for Jane and the escort, Paul, paying for the product, for the drugs that they were going to use. All of the specifics that go right hand in hand, quite frankly, with sex trafficking and engaging in a criminal enterprise.
So what about Christina Coram? I thought for sure the feds were going to pressure her and say, either you turn and you tell.
And we're wondering why she's not taking the stand to be determined of what's going on with KK. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Please don't forget to continue to subscribe. I see that people are subscribing, and thank you. Continue to hit the like button by double tapping the screen. Thank you for subscribing, you guys.
Testify for us, or you're going to go away like Ghislaine Maxwell. That's sort of how I had it in my head, but she's not being called. What are your thoughts?
I don't think you're wrong, Ashley. I think the reality is this. Typically, when we see a witness like that, they're calling her a co-conspirator. And typically, the feds aren't going to refer to her as a co-conspirator unless they're planning to charge or they're continuing to investigate to determine if they should charge her. And I think the reality is this. You know it as well as I do because you're smart, Ashley. If, in fact, they had offered her a deal that she felt like was a good enough deal, I think she would have taken it. So the fact she's not testifying, I think we may see charges against her in the future.
Interesting.
That's what I thought, but I needed to...
Do y'all think that there may be alleged charges for KK in the future? Let's continue.
Check with someone way better at this than I am, because I just thought it doesn't make any sense. The jury's been hearing about this. Chief of staff, nonstop, the linchpin between all these text messages. Okay, real quickly, the freak off videos, these poor jurors, I guess, had to watch porn today, and I wondered why the government waited till the end instead of starting off that way so that they had that frame of reference every time they heard these women talking about how awful it was.
It's strategic, and I can promise you that they wanted to hit with the biggest impact. And what's the biggest impact? That video of all the testimony, having to watch the freak-offs is going to be the biggest piece of evidence. It's at the end on purpose because all it does is confirm everything they've heard from the witnesses so that the jurors can say, aha, not only do we see it, but everything these witnesses told us is true, they're credible.
You know, Court TV is lucky to have you, Judge Ashley. Thank you so much for being on. Come back again.
Thank you.
Judge Ashley Wilcott, check her out on Court TV. Again, former juvenile court judge, and like I said, smart cookie. Still to come.
I do think that they were strategic in showing it when they showed it. Maybe it was to distract away from, oh, Kanye was here, Kanye was here. They don't want people talking about that. They don't want people focusing on that. They want the jurors to understand what is alleged from the people that took the stand. This is what you're hearing and seeing. Let's continue. Fair use. So there was slight reaction from the men in regards to just tuned in, and slight reaction from the women of the jurors. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Different people are going to give different reactions. Let's continue. Fair use.
Deliberations in Karen Reed's murder trial devolved into a shouting match today, but it wasn't the jurors. It was the circus outside. Coming up next, a recap of tension.
Okay, so now she's talking about something else. I got to pay attention. I have to, certain stuff be watching before I show y'all, so I know she's talking about something else. Okay, you guys. I think, This was some of the clips. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Remember how I told y'all I was going to let y'all listen to some of his voicemails? This was a clip I told y'all I was going to let y'all listen to. How he was leaving the messages. Hold on.
Two of them setting up a hotel night. So I want you to pay close attention to how Diddy refers to this upcoming hotel night. And I'd like you to ask yourself something. Is he deferential to Jane? Or is he demanding and coercive?
Shoot, if you come in for 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some shit up. So now you got the opportunity. So set some shit up for tomorrow night. That last vision we had, that was Dawn and ATL. See you put it together, baby.
So this is Diddy's voice recording messages. Remember how I told y'all over the weekend I had heard other voice recordings I hadn't heard? I can't catch everything, but I saved it. Told y'all yesterday I was going to find it, and I just found it. So this is Diddy telling one of the women to set up some stuff. So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
And then there was this, a voice note that Sean Combs sent to Jane after they took a trip together to the Turks and Caicos in March of 2023. You might remember it was on that specific trip that Puffy and Jane agreed to something that they called a quote-unquote love contract. And that's a deal whereby Jane would work less as her, influencer job demanded of her, and Combs would pay for her $10,000 a month apartment. Jane said that with this contract, she was expected to be available to Diddy at all times. Diddy also referenced a strange and dark nickname that he had chosen for her because he said he felt like she was addictive.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you, crack pipe. Or should I call you CP? But yeah, I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like so much fucking fun. So much fucking fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract. Find a nice little spot. Put your mind at ease. And yeah, I had a great time. And I really, really want you to get some rest. I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up a second.
I know about you throwing up. Hold up a second. Listen how he's talking to her. Trying to make her feel good about what's alleged happening. Let's continue. Fair use. Don't forget to subscribe, everyone. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
All right, get some rest, baby. Love.
Jane testified the previous day that she had responded to these voice memos with a voice note of her own, saying, quote, "Baby, you make me laugh. The addiction is real. Yay. 2-year contract." And later in this episode, you're going to hear another voice memo.
So, yay, she's happy about the 2-year contract. He put her on a 2-year contract. So he did not want her doing the only. He wanted her for his situationships. Are you paying attention? Let's continue. Trying to convince them this is a good thing. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Oh, one that the jury heard today, where Diddy responds to Jane's breaking point. So I think it's really insightful. I think it's so much more powerful for the jury to hear their words, like contemporaneously as they're sending messages back and forth, rather than describing them years later on the witness stand, right? So
yes, smooth talking. Oh, I put you under a contract. You should be happy that I put you under a contract. Contract may mean NDA. I put you under a new NDA, possibly, and assisting in regards to your rent. Smooth talking, yes. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Let's go back to day 22 in the trial, and let's take you to the beginning of today, where it was definitely not business as usual in the courtroom. First off, testimony did not even begin on time today because of what was going on behind closed doors. Jane was called into a private meeting with the judge along with her.
So now we're talking about allegedly what happened Wednesday, Thursday. Remember I told y'all there was distraction? She's about to cover it. Let's continue. Fair use. Reaction clip.
Both legal teams, and they were in there for like about an hour. Nobody would say what they discussed, but honestly, it did not take long to figure out what this might have been about. First, though, the final cross-examination of Jane Doe. Diddy's lawyer, Teddy Garagos, and yes, I keep saying it, it is that Garagos. It's Mark Garagos' daughter, so like all in the family. Teddy picked up where the defense left off yesterday. She questioned Jane about a Vegas trip that Jane had described on the witness stand earlier in the week. It was a January 2024 getaway. And as it turned out, Jane revealed today that she traveled to Vegas on a private jet. and that she was not alone. Jane said that the jet belonged to a megastar, a well-known rap artist who was on board with his girlfriend to celebrate that girlfriend's birthday. Okay, well, the internet totally broke over that revelation. Like, you could just hear the reverberations, right? Everybody has been playing the guessing game all day as to who the jet belonged to. Which mega rap star and his girlfriend were in Vegas with Jane and her friends for a birthday celebration for that rap star's girlfriend. Because that rap star didn't just provide a ride. Jane said that rap star also provided quite a show. I will tell you exactly what I mean, and yes, I will give you the dirty details in just a second. But here's what happened.
So they're trying to keep that rap star and his girlfriend anonymous for some reason. A lot of other names have been mentioned in this hearing, in this trial, right? Other names have been mentioned in this trial, but why are they trying to keep this rap star anonymous? That's the question that everybody's asking. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
In Vegas. According to Jane's earlier testimony, there was a full itinerary for Jane and her girlfriends. There was a play, and then a high-end dinner, and then a strip club. And then a party in a hotel suite where things got spicy. And when I say spicy, I mean really spicy. Jane described what was going on in that suite, a freak-off.
Hi, I'm Burke.
So this is an FO outside of Diddy. Alleged Jane got on a plane to go hang out with some friends. This is outside of Diddy. Diddy found out that she went to another event outside of him, and he was extremely mad. And they're not wanting to tell the names or who she took that plane with and what she saw those famous people doing. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Rapper. You know the guy with the jet who brung Jane to Vegas? When Jane arrived, she said she spotted a male escort who'd previously performed in her freak-offs with Diddy. This is a guy named Antoine. We've heard of him before. Jane's mentioned him on the...
Hello, there's Watcha. Welcome back, Watcha. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here. It's been a minute. We have hit 38K. We're trying to hit 40K. Yes, welcome, Watcha. Everyone say hello to Watcha, and everyone say hello to Paris. They were with us when we had 3,000 to 4,000. Hello, hello, hello. I hope all is well. Thanks for being here. And thanks for telling everyone to hit the like. Thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Witnessed Anne many times. But Antoine was having sex with an unknown woman in the middle of this suite while the famous rapper and his girlfriend with the birthday, apparently they were just watching and enjoying. Jane insisted to the court she did not participate in this freak-off. No, she said this was for the famous rapper and his girlfriend, featuring an escort that, yes, me and my boyfriend Diddy, we've had before. Talk about a coincidence, right? Yay.
So allegedly, Diddy's not the only one having FOs. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. And hello, everybody. Let's question this. We don't know who's next to be indicted. We don't know who's next to be indicted. Fair use reaction clip.
That when you run into your guy, never mind, I'm kidding. So when Diddy found out that apparently Jane had gone to this sex party, Jane said that Diddy was absolutely furious with her, like totally jealous, totally controlling. Diddy's lawyer pressed Jane, though, about the sex party and about that rapper and what really happened inside that hotel suite. The lawyer asked, quote, "Is this rapper an icon in the music industry?" To which Jane answered yes. She confirmed that he was somebody close to Diddy, both personally and professionally. I know, the bells are going off in my head too. But here's the thing. Diddy's lawyer never said the rapper's name because Diddy's lawyer was not allowed to say the rapper's name. Turns out that's what the private meeting was about in the judge's chambers this morning. Remember the one that went on for about an hour that they didn't disclose? Earlier, the judge had ruled over objections from Diddy.
Yes, I have an idea too. Because there's not a lot of rappers that have jets. Okay. And the biggest concern is we've seen that some of these rappers are kind of raunchy. I can say that word. And it's kind of a side eye. But, you know, we're going to continue. Fair use reaction clip. And people, okay, I'm not going to say much because we don't know. We don't know. The judge wanted that name and that man's name sealed. And whoever birthday it was, people were trying to look it up. They wanted that sealed as well. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Diddy's legal team that the rapper's identity must remain sealed. Diddy's other lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, made a public objection to that the moment the court resumed, actually. He argued that the public had a right to know who Jane was talking about and said that the rapper should be named in open court. But the prosecutor, Maureen Comey, fired back and said that outing this rapper wasn't about transparency in the case, it was about intimidation. She actually said it was, quote, a pretext to harass this witness, Jane. And in the end, the judge agreed. The judge agreed with the government. Boom, done, gavel down, finished. So for now, the identity of that rapper officially remains.
And see, there's a reason why allegedly they're saying they don't want that name out. She allegedly kept other things sealed before. So she's known to trying to seal stuff. Well, why was other people named? And this is protected. Keep your eye on it. Watch the clues. Catch the tea, y'all. Catch the tea. Yeah, watch us going in on y'all. Get them likes up. Please don't forget to subscribe. Watch it, don't play in those comments. Let's continue. Fair use. They're keeping that rapper sealed because I'm wondering if the rapper, he's well known, if he would try to sue the court. Because we're looking at Diddy have his situation in FOs. People thought about the lawsuits for months, and then we're hearing about the FOs. So they're trying to be cautious of telling about other people's FOs because it really hasn't been told about the FOs. So there's a reason for that. I'm telling y'all, clock the T. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
A mystery, though. I said it before and I'll say it again. The internet has done its own forensic deep dive and seemingly figured it out. And what have they figured out? Hold that thought. Because first, I want to talk about something real quick. What do the stories we cover on Drop Dead Serious prove? Honestly, they prove that the world is unpredictable and that having a really good lawyer is important. It matters. And that is where my great sponsor and partner, Morgan & Morgan, comes in. They are a firm with over 1,000 attorneys, and they commend someone.
Okay.
Are you feeling stuck with $10,000
Hold on.
or more in debt?
Let's let the ads go by. I like that Watcha and Paris are catching up. That's so cute. I had some great people over here. Watcha, Paris. Who was the other one, Paris? Oh, I always forget. There was 4 amazing ones that was helping me go from 3,000 subscribers to almost 10K within 1 month, 2-month period. We were getting it. We were getting 2,000 subscribers in a day. We were getting 1,500 subscribers in a day. Those were the days when I was live for 5 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Sly, somebody she and Diddy had previously hired for one of their freak-offs. And as for the escort named Antoine, who was busy doing his thing in the middle of the sex party, Jane said that Antoine told her he had an ongoing relationship with this famous rapper and his girlfriend, and often traveled with them. So my head's exploding at this really incestuous world. They're all colliding. It was a total coincidence for Jane to bump into Antoine, the guy she'd been.
Wait a minute, Paris, you're getting ready for what? Repeat that? Hey, let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Yeah, but there you go. Apparently they're all doing it. Diddy's lawyer then pressed Jane about the other moments from that night. And Jane testified that the famous rapper expressed a personal interest in her, telling her, in his words, that he had, quote, always had a crush on her. That's so cute. But then went a little dirtier, saying he'd always wanted to fuck her. His word.
Oh, the weekend I did catch that she was saying certain words. It is reported that Jane, the rapper, allegedly had a crush on Jane. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
And then she said, I did not engage. But she did say later in the evening.
Oh, congratulations to your daughter. Oh, go ahead, Paris. You've been married that long. You go, girl. That's longevity. That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations. So happy for you guys. See, and that's funny. People probably get mad because I'll be really paying attention to Paris. If you guys want to have memberships, there's memberships over there. I'll pay attention to your comments as well. We can go back and forth. Yeah, I'm so proud of that. Oh, that's so cool. Let's see. Like the video. Fair use reaction clip.
She briefly flashed her chest in front of the other guests. Side note, I am so curious as to why Diddy's lawyers pushed so hard to name this rapper open in court, right?
Yep.
Fighting with the judge back and forth to get that rapper's name on the record, out there in open court. And I really wonder if this very close relationship that Diddy apparently had with this guy ended as soon as Diddy got the discovery in his jail cell and, started leafing through it. What the hell? Right? This guy's supposed to be your friend. Your very, very close friend, personally and professionally. And Jane is telling the court, yeah, he hit on me, told me you wanted to fuck me. Right? I am wondering if Diddy said to his lawyers, you out that son of a bitch. I don't know. I can't think of the strategy. Maybe I haven't thought through it far enough yet. I will sleep on it tonight. It'll be in my nightmares. But man, oh man, once this trial's over, whether Diddy's in prison or not, something tells me that bro gonna get outed. So next, Teddy Garagos circled back to a very key moment that the jury had already heard about. The morning of June 19th, 2024. That's the day that Jane previously described as her most traumatic, right? It was one of the...
Yeah, Paris, this weekend when I was listening to her in the car, I had my headphones on because my family don't want to be listening to stuff I listen to. But I got to stay on top of what's said, and I got to pay attention to what's done because there's plays here. Also, Paris, let me tell you this. Remember when Kanye outed Diddy years ago when he was on Drink Champs? Everybody go listen to that clip. When Kanye was on Drink Champs, he outed the industry. Remember how Kanye was sitting down and he outed famous people when he was sitting there looking at a book and he outed this person and that person. Kanye went on different rants 2 times majorly, naming major people. He did that a few times, but the Drink Champs one was very interesting. There was clips that I posted years ago. But remember, the Drink Champs video got taken down because famous people did not like to be outed and they felt, is he having a moment? Kanye's talking too much. It got deleted. And I'm wondering if the Drink Champs video got put back up. People had already chopped it up and put up videos regarding that Drink Champs video. But yeah, go look up Kanye West Drink Champs video when he outed Diddy. So this is the biggest thing. Now Kanye's trying to be cool with Diddy, and you did the song, and the K's and the J's did not like that you released the song. That's when Kanye found out he did not have the trademark for his children. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's something else I want to say, but I'm not. I'm cautious over here, baby. I know a lot of stuff, but until I get the subscribers up, once we hit 1 million, till I get more memberships. And see, Paris catches a lot of tea of stuff I say. She catches it. Let's continue. Fairy's reaction clip.
Worst days of her life, she said. But this time, the focus...
Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, is Kanye trying to connect with Diddy because he thinks Diddy may get a mistrial? Okay, let me try and connect with him, because if he gets a mistrial, I'm trying to rebrand. Because think about it. Didn't Kanye just try and change his name? He went from Kanye West to Ye, Y-E, and then he went to allege he was trying to say Y-E, Y-E. So is he trying to connect with Diddy just for a rebrand? Because remember, him and Diddy had a conversation, and he was like, Kanye, get in your bag. Focus on the music. Stop with all this other stuff. Focus on the music. You're creative, you're smart, you're bright. And they were going back and forth. I don't recall if Diddy knew Kanye was going to leak that audio. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Wasn't on rehashing the violence that she'd already described.
Yes, memberships are welcome. Super chats are welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Yes, you guys are subscribing, baby. Yes. Let's try and hit 39K by the end of the month or in the next 2 weeks. Thanks for subscribing, you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I can see that you guys are subscribing. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
On a specific detail about that fight and Jane's role in that fight. And remember, this was the fight where Diddy was like breaking down doors, Jane said, broke through several sets of doors in her apartment to get to her. Mad as fuck about that Vegas trip.
Wow.
You know, all the things that happened in Vegas that Diddy said. At one point, Jane said the physical fighting.
I'm not used to her cursing. This is, yeah, see, this is her page. This is not News Nation, but she's normally on News Nation. Yeah, I'm not used to her cursing like that.
Continued into the shower. She told the jury that she was still yelling and hurling insults from behind the glass, calling Diddy a pedophile and a bitch and a piece of shit and a fraud.
Dang. I gotta watch her on her own page. Baby, she is doing a little bit too much. I try and avoid cursing or saying too much and I'm avoiding certain words. Okay, so I'm done with her because she's doing too much. Certain pages, they kind of like me. Let's get to it and let's move on. If you cursing too much, I gotta move on. She doing too much. She gave us the information in regards to the voice recordings, though. Uh, yeah, I don't like the cursing. Yeah, she did great in regards to the conversation and the voice recordings. So we don't know if Kanye met up and went to the courthouse to support, or he's trying to release something, or he thinks, because think about it, the mistrials that's been reported, Kanye may want to attack and get connected with Diddy if he gets released. That could be it too. Okay, man, me and you've been talking. I've been trying to work with your son, Christian. Christian's coming out to meet Kanye, dabbing him up. Then they're going in the courthouse, and allege it is Kanye that has been trying to be supportive to Diddy's family. It's reported that not a lot has been outed in regards to trying to support Diddy and his children. Where's a lot of his friends? Are they supporting anonymously and it's just not being told? But Kanye wants it out there. Maybe Kanye wants it out there for media attention, clicks, and views. We just never know with him. We know him and the K's and the J's. They love media attention, clicks, and views. Yeah, let's get the likes up, you guys. Please double tap the screen. Okay, everyone. Whew. Lots been going on. I updated y'all. It's now. I've been live for an hour 20. I might come back. I just might. If there's more information that I feel is going to be helpful in regards to what happened today, what publication outed it, what the judge plans on doing, but I wanted to bring you out that TTT. Most recently, I've been going live in the morning, and then I've been trying to go live again in the afternoon to update y'all on what happened in the court. Because of everything that's happening in regards to the chaos and the drama and the distractions, believe it or not, I've been going live twice. I've gone live twice if there was a major breaking news. Yeah, yesterday I went live twice. Because Paris, you're not used to me going live twice. So what I was doing is I was updating you guys in the morning what transpired the day before. And now I'm updating y'all on what happened the day before. And then I'm updating y'all on what's happening at the lunch break, if there was stuff that's breaking. So if there's some information that's going to be breaking, I'll go live. I don't know the time. I've had a busy morning. There's some calls I need to make. There's some things I got to do. I'm still in my dress for my appointment. Looking cute though. Hey. But yeah, if there's some breaking, I'll try and go live before. I don't even want to give a time because I don't know. There's some calls I need to make, and there might be some stuff I need to pick up because there's some people that haven't called me back, and I got to stay on that too. So I may go live again to find out what's going on with the judge, what he's saying, why he's mad, if they're going to release the publication. I think I already know who it is. I think they slipped up and already said it. So I may go live again later on today. Yep, I may go live. A lot of people go live 6, 7, 8. So I don't know if I'll do it before or around the same time that they go live. But if yesterday they got out of court early, I want to say 3 or 4 they got out early because some of the people that I like made their videos early so they can get some rest. So yeah, and see, sometimes I'm listening to some of my favorites at night. Headphones, I'll listen to the first 15 minutes because I have a fam. So, but yeah, if there's some more information in TTT that's dropped, I'll try and go live again to kind of update you guys on why the judge is mad. And if there are leaks, he wants to address it and he wants to let them know this cannot continue to happen, not in my court. And this judge is someone we really haven't heard of. And maybe he just doesn't want his name dragged in a certain way, Yeah, I kind of want to give a time, but if I got to go pick up some stuff, I snacked on something, but I really haven't even eaten today. So, I just kind of snacked on some stuff. So, yeah. I wish I could give a time, but I can't because I don't like to lie and not do what I say I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yeah. So make sure you guys' notifications are turned on because I get that the judge is mad. He's concerned if there's leaks, if there's concerns that's going on, and he has to keep an eye on what's happening in his court. And then judges, I'm sure they talk. I'm sure judges talk. Man, you got to get your stuff in order because think about it. We've never really heard of this judge. So he may not want his name out there looking in a certain way that there's a lot of chaos and drama and sidebars and, you know, stuff leaking. He don't want his name looking bad. I wouldn't. But I'm not surprised if there's drama and distraction. We talked about that weeks ago. Yes, you guys, yes, we're on the track to trying to hit 39K. We're on the track to try and hit 39K. And then the end of the year, we're trying to hit 1 million. End of the year, we're trying to hit 1 million because we have had 1 million views. Since the last time we talked to Paris, it was 20. Now it's 21 million. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. When I was gone for those 2 months, I was wondering if I was going to be able to remember my copyright disclaimer. But I remembered it. Yay. Yay. I wasn't going to be making videos for these people if they did what they did. Over 15-second video. But like I said, I caught it late. So I had other stuff to do. I was focusing on other stuff. But yes, you guys, be blessed. Have a great day. It is supposed to be hot in certain areas of where you are. Make sure you got the air conditionings ready. Make sure you got those neck air conditioning fans on, ready to go. If you lose power, make sure you prepared. Candles, lights, everything you might need. I already did. I already did. So, yeah, it's supposed to be really hot. Excited for the weekend. We got some great stuff coming up for us over the weekend. So I'm excited about that. So I'm trying to take care of a lot now. So by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I can kind of enjoy. Not certain if I'm going to go live Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My analytics will drop a certain way. And that's why I try not to really go live on the weekends. But man, Saturday, I had 60K people in there on a Saturday. So that was good Saturday. But, family time is important. Yes, I'm excited. Yeah, family time. We love it. That means the group is coming together. And we have a good time. Today, I'll be general. Today, I was at a location and they had noticed my name. And they said, I know, your family member. I said, yeah, we're a good key, aren't we? She's like, oh, yeah, you're a good key. You guys are a good time. So we like to have fun over here. We don't take things too serious. We like to have fun, support our friends, giving love and support. So, yes, you guys, I'm going to try. If I can't go live and I have to do it in the morning, because I already update you guys on what happened this afternoon, but I think it's important to cover what the judge is saying. Do me a favor. Go over to Armand. Let him know. Let's Talk About It Media 21. Send y'all over there because I think he dropped the name. I think he dropped the publication name when he was talking to the lady. I always try and give y'all, so I can't confirm or deny, but I think they dropped the name of the publication. I'm just not going to drop it. Yeah, I think they dropped the name. So go over there, listen to Armand. Armand had a great live in regards to one of the people that did the FOs. If you didn't catch his live from 2 days ago, go check that because it was a late live. So if you need something to listen to, yeah. So yeah, lunch hour today, he did a great live. So the judge is not happy with these attorneys. They need to be careful. Okay, everyone, be blessed. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Goodbye. Be blessed. Thanks, Paris.